Hey there, this is Akshat Madan and welcome back to a new video. In this video, we are going to see the main difference between the HTTP and the DO package, which are there for handling the HTTP request for Flutter projects. So HTTP package, so I'm currently on the HTTP pub.dev page, and you can see that this package is by the official Dart team, the team that built Dart. They actually built this HTTP package. So this is the official Flutter library for handling the HTTP request or making the HTTP request. But on the other hand, we also have the DO package, which is a third-party library. It is not built by the official Flutter or Dart team. It is built by some other third-party company, and they build this DO package, and it also does the same thing, powerful HTTP networking package for Dart and Flutter. But DO provides some things on top of HTTP. The things that you have to do manually in HTTP, DO has already done it and provided us ready-made. Okay. In production grade applications, this apps which have a lot of features, which are having a lot of developers, which need scalability and maintainability, they prefer using DO because of some of the key features that are required when you are making a production grade application that are already done in DO. So let's go ahead and see the code for both HTTP calls and same HTTP calls made using DO package. Then you will understand more that what are the features that are provided on top of HTTP in DO package. So let's go ahead and see that. So you can see that I'm on a file, Flutter file, Dart file, http.dart, and you can see that this is a very minimal API call that I have made using HTTP. So in HTTP is a very lightweight package. So you go ahead with HTTP package when your app is like super simple. You just have like 5 to 6 normal get, post, put, delete API calls, and you are not worrying much about the exception handling. You're not worrying much about the interceptor part, cancellation of the call, then request timeout. All of those features I'm going to show one by one in the do.dart file. But HTTP is a very lightweight package. It does only those tasks which are like very minimal, just making the API call, getting the response, handling the status codes. That's it. So that's I've just written over here, simple API for get, post, put, delete, request. And this is how you import the HTTP package. And you write a simple function which says final response is equal to http.get post put delete. You define your URI. So no, it's not a string, it's a URI. Okay. So you convert your string into a URI. So URI.parse that string URL. Then you can just check the status codes. Apart from this, you don't get anything in HTTP. If you want anything, let's say you want cancellation of the request, let's say you want the request timeout, let's say you want some additional headers like multi-part file, uploading files to your server, then you need to do all of that stuff manually. You need to have that level of knowledge to do that stuff manually. Then you can take a clone of this HTTP package and you can work on that, make your own package, and you can do all of that stuff. There is no restriction, but that all of those things are not provided to you ready-made. Okay. So limitations: lacks advanced features like request cancellation, interceptors, or file uploads with progress. So these features are not there by default in HTTP package. Manual effort required for tasks like retries, timeouts, and handling cookies. So these are like very common features that are usually required when you're making an application which has to go among the users. When you're making a simple college project, normal personal project, that is fine. But when it has to go to the users, real users, there you need to handle all of that stuff, security, timeouts, retries, and all of that, so that user experience is better. Okay. So this is how you use the HTTP package. Now let's see the do.dart file. So in do package, what you get is you get built-in support for interceptors, request cancellation, timeout, and file uploads. So all of those things which are missing in HTTP, they are there in do. And it is highly customizable. I'll show you how it is customizable. So you can see I created so again you have to download or install the do package in your pubspec.yaml file. Then you need to create an instance of your do class. Okay. Now you can use this do object. So in this do object also, I have this do.get. You can define a simple string which is your endpoint. Okay. Then you can normally get the data which is there in your response. You can log it, you can do anything. But if you get any exception, then you also get a handler for that. So on do exception, instead of just having the catch as your exception handler, you can have this do exception handler, which is do exception type. Okay. So there you can actually match it with the respective exception type. I just have that example below. I'll show it to you. Because when you make an API call, you can have various types of exceptions. Let's say you got 404 bad request. Let's say you got not found, right? Let's say you got 500 internal server error. Let's say you got success 200 status code. So all of those responses you need to handle properly. So for that, instead of doing it manually, DO has already provided some interceptors for that, or request response handlers for that. This is a error response handler. So if you get an error in your response, what type of error is it? You can match it with the respective exception type. Okay. So why choose DO over HTTP? Number one, interceptors. Automatically add headers or modify the request responses and request and responses basically. Okay. So let's say you are making an API call. You want to do something when there is a request. So on request, what do you want to do on the request? You want to modify the headers of that request, because you need to send the API key. You need to send the bearer token as the authorization in the authorization header, right? So in that you will define a simple interceptors wrapper, and on request handler is there. You will define that in this request header, just add the authorization bearer token. So for every request for this DO object, it will add the authorization bearer token. Okay. When you get the response, what do you want to do in the response? Okay. So as soon as you get a new response, you want to handle something, right? Or you want to call a continuous function. Like as soon as you get a response, you want to call another function, right? Or you want to modify the response header. You want to modify the response body, right? So in that case, you can use this on response handler. If you get an exception, so on error, you can use this handler on error, right? You can print or log that error. Then you can do some other task, like you can have a snack bar, you can have an alert dialog box, anything that you can do. Plus you get the exceptions. I'll show it to you. I'll come to that. But you see that using interceptors, DO interceptors, you can do all of this stuff, which is not there in HTTP. Then you also get request cancellation. Let's say one request is already running, but there is one more request coming from behind. So you want to cancel the previous request and make the another present call. Okay. So in that case, you can define a cancel token object. Then you are making a get call, plus you define the cancel token as one of the parameter. Using this token, you can cancel the previous request. Okay. So if some request is already running, but you want to like cancel it and make the call again, you can use this cancel token thing, which is made available by DO package. Then file uploads with progress. So multi-part file form data support is not there by default in HTTP. You have to code it on your own. Okay. But in DO, you already get this form data from map. You can define this multi-part file from file. That means if you want to upload a file to your server, you can use this multi-part file thing, which is provided by DO, right? So in this case, what you do, you define instead of having a JSON request body, you define a form data request body. You can pass key value pairs, plus you can pass a file to your server. So this is very important, right? When you're uploading files, file uploading is a very common feature, right? So that's why this is very important. On send progress. So if you want to also get the progress of your file upload, you can also do that in DO using this parameter on send progress. Okay. Timeout configuration. If let's say you want to define a global timeout for all of your requests, that hey, my request should not take more than 5 seconds. If it is taking, cancel that request, right? So in that case, you can define some additional options in DO object. DO.options or connect timeout, 5 seconds, 3 seconds. You can define this. After this time duration, it will automatically show an error, timeout exception error. Okay. Now error handling, which I was telling that I'll show you in future. So this is the thing. In DO, we already get some exception types. So if you see, if I remove this and if I show you, you can see receive timeout, send timeout, connection error, cancel, bad response, bad certificate. So all of these are some of the exception types which are by default provided by DO. So you can match the runtime in the error with the DO exception type, and based on that you can show custom error messages, right? So this is provided by DO. Okay. So this makes DO a very powerful networking package for Flutter and Dart. So when to use HTTP? For simple request with no advanced requirement. When to use DO? Complex app requiring, global headers for interceptors, token management for authentication, file uploads or downloads, retry mechanism or cancellation support, detailed error categorization. So all of this is present in DO, but it is not present in HTTP. Okay, all of that stuff you can do in HTTP, but you have to do it yourself. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show. If I show you a production grade application which is already live, then if I show you the API layer, I have a DO folder. In this I have a DO client. Okay, so I just extended my DO client with an API. So API is another abstract class in which I have defined my get, post, patch, download, delete. Okay, so you can also define it on yourself so that you don't have to write all of this stuff in every DO call. Okay, so if I go back to my DO client, in this DO client, I take certain parameters. I take the base URL, I take the timeout, connection timeout, receive timeout, send timeout. I take how many redirects, like if I have to allow the redirects, what type of content type you have to pass it to your request. All of that I take as the parameters. And then I also define my JWT or bearer token or API key header. Now you can see I have get, I have post, I have post without JWT, I have patch, I have download, I have put call. All of these calls I have defined, which take the base path, which take the authentication type like bearer or API key. Then they take the headers, then they take the body. Now I have made the API call over here using the DO package. Now this DO client I use in my API services. So this was my API client. Now if I show you my API services, let's say if I take you to customer API service. So you can see customer feedback API service. I have created an instance of my API client, and in that API client I use the respective method. So if I go to post, it will take me to the DO client itself. So that I'm just creating multiple abstraction layers so that it improves the code readability. So this is my main API service, which I mostly deal with. And whenever I have a new feature, new API client, then only I define a new API client. So you can see these are my API clients, which are extending to DO client so that they can access all of the properties of DO client class. But in general, I think you have understood. You can create your own DO clients. You can create your own classes. It's up to you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Till the next video, keep coding, keep innovating, and thanks a lot.